I just wanted to share a client success story with you. I think this will really resonate with a lot of you who are probably wondering, how the heck do I book acting jobs? How do I become a professional actor? I've tried everything. I've got the new headshots. I've got an agent. I've lost an agent. I've changed agents. I've gone to casting director workshops. I have a demo reel. I've got a website. I've got all the social media. And nothing changes. Oh yeah, I joined the union. I've done it all. I've done it all and nothing happens. And you know, the hopefully the lesson you learn at the end of this is that when you ask somebody what to do, they'll tell you what to do, but it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. And often, if you ask yourself why they're telling you what they're telling you, is because maybe that's what they want you to do because it'll actually benefit them, and it doesn't necessarily benefit you. And pleasing others is usually not the key to pleasing yourself, meaning getting what you want out of life. So I suggest you follow your own path, but what that might look like is as follows. Okay, I've got a client. She started out in Jackson, Tennessee. She has a degree in biology. She wanted to be an actor. She'd done some work. And at some point, she decided to move to a larger market. I don't want to get into the specifics because it's irrelevant, but just think about your own situation and apply it. So she moved to a larger market. And while she was actually in Tennessee, she started communicating with directors and people that she admired in the business. And a few of them actually responded, and she kind of developed a rapport with them. And I was really encouraging her and guiding her on what to say to them, how to keep them engaged, and get them interested in her. And then she moved to this larger market, and rather than just trying to get an agent and trying to go out on auditions, which is what most people do, and they spend all their time and money never seeing anybody in the entertainment business, all they see are people that are actually outside of the entertainment business, like acting teachers and agents. You might think an agent's in the entertainment business, but they're not. They have nothing to do with producing projects, right? They're not on set, they're not in the office, they're not in pre-production, they're not in post-production. They are a separate entity. Same thing with casting directors, believe it or not. Some people say to think of casting directors as the HR department, which sounds bad enough because the HR department doesn't hire, but they're not. They're not in the HR department. They are an outside third-party contractor that producers hire whenever they make a project. And they don't keep them on retainer or anything like that. They're not even like a lawyer where their services are always, you know, the casting director of record. No, they get hired on a job-by-job basis. They're a contractor in the same way that an actor is. So just to clarify. Anyway, so this young lady moves to a larger market, and I suggested getting involved in the industry pretty much any way she could, but ideally get your foot in the door, because once you're in the door, you can start to demonstrate all of your various capabilities, of course, including acting. But get your foot in the door. Check your ego at the door as well. Like, if you think you're above that, or you think you're too good for something, you know, unless you're the one hiring for the jobs, you shouldn't concern yourself with whether you're too good or not for something. So she agreed, and she did that, and she started reaching out. And I'll tell you, the totality of what she did was incredibly small, but it was incredibly effective. She drove onto a lot and met somebody with a production company. She kind of befriended them and told them what she was trying to do, and they said, "Oh, okay, I'll help you out. I'll see if I can help you out." So she got sort of, you know, her resume was run through, you know, people's desks, and nothing really happened. And that's when I said, well, don't feel bad. Just don't give up. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you are in charge of, right? Which is you. You doing you. And so she said, okay, I'll trust you. And within, I don't know, a few weeks, she gets a call from somebody she's never heard of, or a text or whatever it was. Oh, who's this? Hello, hi. Oh, hi, we got your information here. Says you're interested in this kind of work, PA work. We're a TV show on the Fox network. Would you be interested in working for us? And it's a game show. And she's like, well, I don't want to work in a game show. And I was like, well, guess what? most of the people that work on game shows go back and forth between scripted and unscripted shows, you know? Could be a Marvel show, could be anything. They work on what's available because, you know, show cycles, production cycles are constantly changing. And so there's this constant cycle of finding work, looking for work, finding work, looking for work, finding work, looking for work. So I said, just get your foot in the door, because the hardest job to get is the first one, because right now you have no credibility. But once you've done that work, not only will you have credibility, but you'll also know probably 50 to 100 people who work in the business and have probably been working in the business for years and years. And they know, well, you know 50 people, they know 500 people, because they've probably worked on 10 shows. And it's probably 50,000 people that possibly know how to reach them if necessary. So she said, okay, I'll do it. And she did it. Well, guess what? While she was there, halfway through her tenure at this show, she gets a call from the very first guy I mentioned, who she met on the lot, and he literally offers her his job on a Marvel scripted show. Actually, could be DC, could be Marvel. Comics ain't my bag. And she's like, oh my gosh, David, what should I do? And I said, well, if I were you, this is your first job, you probably want to leave it, you want to leave in good standing, right? You don't want to leave someone in the lurch. So I said, listen, I know that sounds like a great opportunity, but honestly, working as a PA on one show is the same as working as a PA on another show. Don't get carried away with what stars you'll be working with. That's not what you're in this for. You'll become the star. You're not there to, you know, fawn over people that you like, okay? This is not the red carpet where people come and watch the Oscar parade of, you know, Gucci gowns, etc. So it's a job, do the job, and they'll respect you for it. And also, you'll have developed longer term relationships by working there the full 3 months or whatever it was, than if you jump ship now, because you're going to be a stranger on the set that's already halfway through a production. So she said, okay, I'll do it. So, as it turns out, she did it almost to the very end. And with 2 days left, actually a week before the end, she was telling me about a job she saw on the internet to work on a show, an HBO show. And she's like, yeah, that sounds really good. And I said, yeah, but it's on the internet, so chances are, if it's out there in the public eye, they've already had thousands of applicants and the job is probably already gone. They're just too busy to take down the ad. And she's like, okay. And I said, what you should do is literally smother HBO, find out who's working on what, and contact them all and tell them about this job, because you want to know what happened to it. Is it still available or not? Because it's not about getting that particular job, it's about connecting with more and more people in the business. So she did that. And she said, nothing happened, I couldn't reach anyone, no one really responded to me. And honestly, I can't remember if anyone did respond to her or not, but regardless, she did that. Didn't have much to say about it. 3 days before she wrapped on the show she was working on, the game show, she gets a call from HBO offering her a position in the production office until December, which is unheard of. Most of the PA jobs only last a few months while they're shooting, but an office PA works for the whole duration of the show, meaning like pre-production, production, through post-production potentially, until it closes down basically. So she gets this offer from HBO, and now I'm going to take you back to the beginning. She had 2 days left, so she goes, should I quit? I said, well, why don't you tell your boss you got an offer and ask them what you should do? Because if you give someone else the power, they're going to feel far more benevolent about it than if you say, oh, I'm going to quit with 2 days remaining in my employment. So she asked her boss, and her boss said, what, are you crazy? Take the job. We'll cover for you for 2 days. No problem. So now she's leaving behind a really happy boss and happy crew that she worked with. And she's taking a job in one of the most prestigious networks in the world, one of the most successful and oldest, that really produces high quality programming. Well, she's going to be in a bit of a predicament, because back to the beginning, as I said, she was making connections with people before she even left Jackson, Jackson, Tennessee, she had connected with this director who had done some stuff on Netflix she liked and kept him apprised of what she was up to. Well, guess what? She gets a text from her, or a direct message or whatever, and it says, "Hey, Brooklyn, coming to your town next week. Would love to take you to lunch." Because I'm directing a Spike Lee produced movie, and we'd like to discuss your involvement. So the end. Her problem's going to be what to do, because now she's probably going to have more offers. She's already got a job that I believe she started today or yesterday, and there's a pretty good chance she's going to get offered another job, potentially an acting job in this Spike Lee movie. She's certainly in a position where she can suggest herself for a role, and I'm sure they would really entertain the idea because they think highly of her, and she now has a lot of experience in the business. So there you are, folks. That is one way to get your foot in the door of the entertainment business and watch your success explode. Hope you liked it. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Go to teespring.com/hackhollywood. Get a t-shirt. I'll sign it for you if you'd like. And let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you soon.